Nancy.
Hey, Ariel.
Here we are, week 7 of Music Success in 9 Weeks, my new book, out now, musicsuccessin9weeks.com. We are talking about newsletter list building.
Yes.
And we've got 3 tips that we're going to share today about how to get fans onto your newsletter list. Tip number 1. I feel very booky today. So the first thing that we always say is you're going through your crazy life and you're getting emails in, emails are going out all week long, and a lot of times we just forget to capture those email lists and actually put them on the newsletter list.
Yeah.
So first tip is create a separate inbox in your Gmail or in whatever mail service you're using and call it newsletter list.
Right.
Simple. And then as you're going through your crazy week and you're responding to people's emails or you meet someone new, you don't have to stop to do this, but stick that email in the separate box.
Right.
And then what we recommend is on Friday.
Friday. We have to do it on Friday.
You can do it on Monday, but you know, pour yourself
Friday's
a glass
better.
of scotch or a glass of wine or bust out some coffee. Sit yourself down. Go through your inbox that you've put all these email addresses in, and then you have a form letter that just says, hey, would you mind if I sign you up to my newsletter list?
Yeah.
And invite them.
And that's an important part, to send them something that asks permission, not to just put them on.
Yeah, because it could actually be illegal to do that.
Yes.
So make sure everyone's always opting in with permission. But that's my first tip.
Yeah. And along the kind of the tail end of that is I think of all sorts of people that I forget to put on my list even because I just don't think about it. So that's a great way, you know, if it's just part of your day. And there's people that I know really well, but they're not on my email list because I don't think about to just do that little thing.
Right. Don't forget to add friends and family too.
Right. Oh yeah.
Simple, simple. So tip 2 is text messaging. Now this is something that obviously is becoming more and more popular, people sending texts. And you can actually capture text messages with special free programs. The 2 I love are broadtexter.com and Mozes, M-O-Z-E-S. Now this might not be appropriate for your fan base, so think a little bit before, but you can put a box on your website that says, please sign up to our text messaging list, and you can use these 2 services to manage more intake. And what I love about this is people are so inundated with email, sometimes it's just nice to hit them in their pocket.
And I hear that that's really the way everything's going now these days too. It's kind of the cutting edge is doing the texting and the mobile marketing.
But I actually found out a very interesting little thing. Amanda Palmer, who has managed to totally dominate on the internet, has actually, her tour manager carries a cell phone, and at the beginning of every show she says, hey everyone, text the tour manager's phone, and then they capture all the texts there, and then the next day they send a little thank you to everyone in that town.
That's so brilliant.
And then they parse it out by town, and from what I understand she got 500 a night.
Whoa, that is brilliant.
So,
that is great.
Text messaging is our second tip.
What's our third tip?
Our third tip is live show giveaways.
Oh, that's right. When you show up live, it's like a great way to collect names. And by giving something away, in fact, I'll give you an example of this group that I am very familiar with back in San Francisco called the Kitchenettes. There were 3 women that sang kind of these, kind of really eclectic group of songs. And they would create these giveaways. They had a CD, but they would also find really fun prizes and actually wrap them. So it had this whole other mystique about it, and they would actually collect people's names and email addresses at some point in the set, in the middle of the set, not at the end, and pass a hat. People would put in, because everyone wanted.
They wanted the magic gift.
They wanted the magic gift that they couldn't see and didn't know what it was. So it was, and they would do like 3 of them throughout the course of the show. And the thing that I loved that they did was they had a CD, but they also did some really creative thinking because they were the Kitchenettes. So they found like these old egg beaters and aprons and these really kind of funky things that actually was so perfect for them and their brand, the Kitchenettes, and it didn't cost them a lot. You know, they would go to some dollar store and do it.
Right.
So it wasn't a big budget, and they, as a result, collected everyone's email addresses and names, and then, like you say, at the end of the show or the next day, actually, you know, emailing them and asking them if it's okay, thanking them for coming, which is so great. People love that. People love to be thanked for showing up and say, we would love to add you to our newsletter list so you can find out what's going on. And
or even a shortcut to that. I've even seen bands say, we're going to add you to our newsletter
Oh, really?
list.
Right
and
out.
don't worry, you can always opt out. But thanks for signing up for the contest. And the other thing that's really fun about the kitchenettes, I don't know if they did this or not, but this is a Derek Sivers tip. Take a photo of the winner having fun with the item.
Great idea.
And post it on your Facebook, on your fan page. And so then what you're doing there is you're involving the band. Remember to announce that you've got a Facebook fan page. And then you've got more people coming to it the next day because they want to see themselves. The thing that's most interesting to people is them. So
really?
So when building your newsletter list, what's critical would be to point it back at the fan.
That's a great idea. The picture's a great idea.
So there's our 3 tips for week 7, getting people onto your mailing list. Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you, Ariel.